I'm Mike Hayne, and I'm talking to you. In 2021, I published a book called Talking to Myself. And the concept behind it was that a person could use this Amazon Fire tablet, which is what I am using right now, to video themselves. But in making this video, you would be talking completely honestly to yourself, and nobody else would ever see the video. And you would do it twice a week, 15 minutes. And the idea was this. In the United States today, there should be a compilation, a report that we see once a month of the number of students aged 10 to 21 who commit suicide, state by state. North Dakota this month had 5 students aged 10 to 21 kill themselves. California had 21. New York State had 15 students aged 10 to 21 who killed themselves. And we would see the compilation of this month by month. Also, another one would be the people that go crazy and attack their fellow students or attack their co-workers. Montana this month had nobody who attacked all the other people in the grocery store. Florida this month had 6. And we would see a real compilation of what was really occurring. Students who are so frustrated and upset that they kill themselves. In my technique, you could use the Amazon Fire tablet like I'm using right now, and you get yourself prepared, and you put yourself on camera, and you push the little button of the arrows going around in a circle, and it makes the camera come on this side, and you can see yourself, and you're just like a professional guy like O'Reilly or Glenn Beck or something. You can see yourself. But in my technique, the student talks so honestly that they never will show it to anyone else. It's talking to myself. And you do that twice a week, and then what you do is you look at them and you watch them and review them yourself and see how you look. Now, in my case, in 2021, when I wrote the book, Talking to Myself by Mike Hayne, it's on Amazon. You got to put it in there, Talking to Myself by Mike Hayne, Hayne. You can also see me on my website, mikehayne.com. I was so crazy that the police will show up here and shoot me to death. And the other people will say, you should have heard the way this guy talked. He's completely out of his mind. But I didn't do that. I talked to myself. Now, I put mine on the internet, and I put mine out for other people to see. Because I just said I would do that. There are things in my life that I never told anyone. And in talking to you, the new book, I'm not going to write it as a book. I'm just going to recite it as 20-minute videos. I can do it. It's not easy, but I can do it. 20-minute videos, there's about 100 of them. I'm making a list right now in my journal of the stories. Things that, if you want to gossip about Mike Hayne, who lived in New York, Texas, California, and here, I'll tell you some stuff to gossip about. Each one of the 100 stories that I recite, 20-minute videos, they got one particular detail that was never told. And if you hear that, you'll say, whoa, Not only that, I like to joke. In 1981, I was being followed. I like to joke. I got a 9-inch thick FBI file, and not a word of it's true. And it turns out that's really what it is. A profiler. I talk about my theory that if a student tries cocaine, he lives on Long Island and he tries cocaine. Well, he now is the product for the business. The business is the war on drugs. And I'm sorry to say, because Nancy Reagan was one of the ones that popularized that. And I like Nancy Reagan, but war on drugs and you make it into a big business. Well, the boy that takes the cocaine in the high school, if you were a coal miner, you need coal. If you're drilling petroleum, you need oil. You need a product. On Long Island, the boy that tries cocaine, the teenager, he's the product of the business. They got a big business going with counselors. We used to call these guys narcs, people that turn you in behind your back in the school. They got funding and money. It's what they call a police state. Some people might try to identify what fascism is, but they don't get it correct. Fascism means a police state where the police tell you what to do. And if you have a business that's earning money from the government, big government funds being paid to what we used to call narcs, which is a narcotic agent in the high school. He's getting money. He needs people to turn in. Or counselors. They're getting money from the government to counsel you because you tried cocaine at one point. You're the product. It's called a police state. It's fascism. And we've been living in that since the 80s. So, in talking to you, my new book, Before I Die, I'm going to try to talk as honestly and the best I can. I'm totally poor. I'm living in a Las Vegas rooming house, which is a mobile home. There's 3 other men living here. I pay $385 for my rent, and it's nice. The other men are nice. It's a good place. The neighborhood is good. Many of the mobile homes are owned by single individuals who were good workers and they saved their money. And they put the money into the mobile home. Now they have the retirement community. I get $932 a month retirement pay from Social Security. The things that people would tell you about economics would scare you. In 1933, during the Great Depression, and one of the economics professors on the internet says, read The Grapes of Wrath. I never did read John Steinbeck or The Grapes of Wrath, but he says read that. But in 1933, Franklin Roosevelt had what he called a banking holiday, and he turned off the money. And before that, all the money was different. Like he'd have different bills from different places. Hey, here's a 20. Okay? He turned off the money in 1933 and reprinted it to the kind of money we have now. The dollar, $5, $10, $20. And all of the people, if you were somebody who had saved your money and you had your retirement fund, probably in those days, you know, hey, I have 50,000. I've been working as a railroad employee for 20 years, and I have $50,000 saved up in the bank. We're getting through the Depression in our family. No, you're not, because Roosevelt just turned off the money. You got zero in the bank. That's what I learned in college, in economics and history. So, I'm Mike Hayne, and I'm talking to you. I'm going to do the best I can.